10, 9, 8, ignition sequence start, engines on, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
NASA sent James Irwin to the moon on a mission of science, but he returned to Earth a changed man. Apollo 15 wasn't just another moon landing, it was the first mission designed for extended scientific exploration. Lunar Module pilot James Irwin and Commander David Scott trained extensively in geology, specifically to observe the moon's surface and properly collect samples of lunar rocks and dust. They spent nearly 3 days at the Hadley Apennine landing site and drove the first lunar rover, taking the first ever extraterrestrial joyride. They also conducted experiments, studied the enormous Hadley Rill, a winding canyon on the moon that is about 80 miles long, 1 mile wide, over 1,000 feet deep, and collected 170 pounds of lunar material from the region around their landing site, including the famous Genesis rock, believed to be a fragment of the moon's ancient crust. For Irwin, science wasn't merely taking him to another world, it was revealing the astonishing scale and intricacy of God's creation. As he looked toward the lunar mountains, Irwin radioed,
"Oh, look at the mountains today, Jim, when they're all sunlit. Isn't that beautiful? Really is. My golly, that's just super. It's, unreal." Dave, I'm reminded of a favorite biblical passage from Psalm. "I look unto the hills, from whence cometh my help."
He was quoting Psalm 121. Now, Irwin was already a Christian, but by his own admission, he had been lukewarm and mostly silent about his faith. On the moon, that changed. While struggling to set up an experiment, Irwin later said that he prayed for help and experienced God's presence more powerfully than ever before. Within a year of returning to Earth, he left NASA and began traveling the world telling people about Jesus. And this scientifically trained astronaut, one of only 12 people ever to walk on another world, eventually concluded,
The answer is Jesus Christ. The Jesus walking on the Earth is more important than man walking on the moon.
And that's something we keep discovering on this channel. You don't have to choose between taking science seriously and taking God seriously. Science can show us how creation works, but faith tells us why it exists. Irwin went to the moon to study creation, and he came home more devoted to its creator. Have you ever had an experience like this out in nature? Leave a comment telling us about an experience you have had that led to a deeper connection to God.